You think yung popularity nila Duterte is affecting the popularity of the Marcoses? May ano ba? May connection ba na pag malakas yung kabila, mahina yung kabila?
Hindi naman ganun yung correlation. It's just that, okay, there's a probe we're going to release very soon, but we're still trying to process it. Where the initial impression is people want the unit team to continue to stay united.
Continue. United pa ba?
But yeah, I doubt very much. From our standpoint, it's hard to put them together. Yeah, but the impact of the split that became evident in January is a decline in the numbers of many of the key players. So when you look at the president, the vice president, their numbers are also affected. We will come with a probe, no, the formal probe in the next few days. So,
okay, are they both bringing each other down? Kasi nagbabanatan sila eh. Yun, pwede ba yun? Meron bang connection
yeah,
yan?
I think so. I think so. There's an impact. The biggest impact here in the Senate poll is the numbers of Senator Imee Marcos. So, she was in the top 5 for 3 quarters. Right. A relatively stable vote at 40%. 38 to 40%. Now she's gone down.
Oh,
so these are these numbers changed. Yeah, and the sentiment changed. So I think our viewers have to be informed about that. These numbers are not set in stone. So it's a dynamic, and so people change their perspective depending on the context.
Professor Rye,
the last few months have been very noisy for us politically.
Okay, Professor Rye, what's your reading into that? Nasa borderline na sa Senator Imee Marcos. No, what's your reading? She is a familiar name, so that's a check there. That's a Marcos name. She's incumbent. So what's your reading? Ba't siya bumabagsak?
Well, there could be a lot of factors, no? One is the entry of Ben Tulfo in the list, no? Another is, of course, is the dynamics we saw over the last 2 or 3 months, no? Where there's so much infighting and noise among the political elite. And the key players, one of the key players, of course, Senator Marcos, and that fight between the Duterte and Marcoses that was very open, may have affected to some extent her numbers. That's in the case of Imee Marcos, yeah.
Okay, but it hasn't affected...
Those are the 2 possible things I'm looking at.
Okay, but that fight hasn't really affected Duterte, I mean, not by much, or Aaron Tulfo, who identifies with the speaker and all that. So, parang bukod tangi itong si Imee Marcos ang malaki ang binagsak. Does it have something to do with public perception about family dynamics, which they don't like to see siblings fighting? I mean, I'm just wondering what the sensitivity of Filipinos there.
That's very possible, That's very possible. I mean, it could be a myriad of factors. Yeah, but I would agree that within the ruling coalition, the ruling party, and that's very open between the senators. I think it's affected the numbers.
Actually, sir, I was wondering about that. Kasi of all the people in the 2 camps, si Imee is the one who has a foot in each camp, in both camps. So I would thought nga na she would fare better, considering na she can play with either camp to a certain degree, versus the other ones who have to have talaga a position firmly in each camp.
Kaya lang, baka natin
I think the survey numbers indicate that she has to clarify her position on issues.
Okay.
So I don't think she can play that kind of politics anymore, because there's a polarization as far as the votes are concerned.
So baka parang suspicion on both sides
we have
na.
also data. We also have some data coming out about what is the political affiliation of the public in general. And it's split in the country,
Okay.
no? We'll report that probe,
Parang
no? But
namamangka,
something like a
dalawang ilog.
quarter are for the Dutertes. And another quarter is really for supporting the Marcos administration. So the country is divided.
Professor,
That's a quarter
Professor,
and a
seeing
quarter.
the
What's the
voter
rest?
preference trends, you think there will be room for people na less high profile? Kung high profile to mga tao dyan eh. You think there will be room in the Senate race in 2025? Kung sa mga hindi ganyang kakilala, pero ano na sila, public figures but not that high profile.
I think there is. It's too early to count anyone out. But it will be a tough, it will be uphill climb for new players. Because this is going to be a very highly contested, a very competitive midterm election in a context that's deeply polarized. So,
Okay.
you know, apart from the fact it will be very expensive to run a campaign this particular midterm, you know, it will be a challenge for any new player, but I'm not counting them out.
Okay.
The progressives can still continue to fight.
Professor Rye, you just mentioned a while ago a quarter for Marcos, a quarter for Duterte. Where's the rest?
Okay, this is unofficial, so I'm releasing it to your show.
Okay.
Okay, so the official report is still being made.
Okay.
Something like 31% are in support of the Marcos administration,
Okay.
and around 20% will support the Dutertes.
Okay. And then the
So
rest?
these are people who are they're not part of the only people identify with the opposition is around 4%. However they define the opposition. So that's the country today. That's where people are.
So the rest undecided. Ganun po ba?
Yes, the rest are undecided.
Okay.
Malaki rin yun. That's 49%. 31 and 20. You're left with 49%.
Yeah, 31 and 20.
Yes, sir. So, sir, could you break down the other 49 again? Of the 49, how many are, again, how was that again?
Okay, so for those in support of the Marcos administration who affiliate themselves with the administration is around 31%.
Yes, sir.
Those who affiliate themselves with the Duterte family is around 20%.
Yes, sir.
Those who align themselves with what they define as the opposition, not the administration, is 4%.
4%?
The rest are ambivalent.
4%.
4%?
Yeah.
Oh.
The rest are ambivalent.
Well,
The rest are undecided.
given that number,
45%
Professor Rye, no, should we still refer to them as opposition when clearly the opposition is something else? If you look at the numbers, parang
know,
force of habit
it
na lang
really
ata,
depends on
Professor
how you
Rye, na
define.
we still call them the opposition when it has moved on apparently.
Yeah, I think but you know, who we define as the opposition is a contested claim.
Right.
A contested concept. What comprises, what constitutes the opposition is a continuing discussion until now. And who will be part of it is something that's being negotiated at the moment.
Yes, sir.
What seems to be clear is that the Duterte group or a political alliance is positioning themselves as the opposition.
Sir, pasigit lang dalawang questions. Okay, number one, exactly how did you ask the question, sir, if you don't mind? How did you ask the question and how could it...
For
how
that-
did you determine,
for that matter.
Yeah, how did you determine
that issue.
who got 31 and how?
Okay, this is a probe. This is a probe that we are still going to formally report, no? So I will give you a copy of the report.
Yes, sir.
Yun na lang.
When it's
Oo.
formally released by OCTA.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm trying to answer your question that the country is divided along political lines already at this early.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're aligned not based on ideology, program, or ideas, but along
Based on
political
personality.
families.
Okay.
So this is just to answer your question.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
the details I cannot discuss formally right now.
I understand, sir.
But right now, because we don't have a formal report submitted yet. So
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm just giving an advance top line.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
you know.
But my second question, I have two questions. Sorry. My second question,
Okay.
the 49% ang natitira kasi 31 and 20, 49%. Of that
Yeah.
4%, 4 percentage points, yung that lumang opposition, that leaves you with 45%. So 45% yung ambivalent, neither here nor there?
Yes, sir.
That's a huge...
They're undecided.
Undecided.
They're not part of either the opposition or the administration or affiliated with what they understand to be the Duterte.
Yes, sir. How does that number compare to previous elections? I mean, if there is any such number before. I mean, parang ang laki na 45%.
Dati, overwhelming Duterte.
Yeah, but this is the first time we're
Okay.
trying to track this.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to organize more probes. So, this is part of my political culture probe. And we're still developing that module. But this is an initial attempt at trying to find out what is the political affiliation of Filipinos at the moment. And it seems that nearly half don't have it's not affiliated with either the administration or the opposition as they define it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Pero ano ba yung description niya, Professor, ng political affiliation?
Marcos and
Regional
Duterte
ba
na
yan? Family? Ano yung, maiintindihan ba yun ng mga tao?
Hindi, simple lang yung tanong natin
Personality.
Kayo ba ay sumusuporta sa Marcos administration? Kayo ba sumusuporta sa
okay.
opposition? So, these are a
Okay.
series of questions
So administration
about
or
what their
pro
preferences
or
are.
hindi naman anti but non-administration.